Hi, hi! How's everyone doing? Baron's ready! Today we're gonna read stuff! And oh my god, look! I got the moving background to work! Why you bonk? Why you bonk, Kumatora Brazil? No bonk! So let me move the chats. I kinda was moving the chats blindly, in a way. So I didn't even know where you guys were. No bonk! It's the alerts. This is the YouTube chat. YouTube chat, please. Why are you guys small? Okay, now you guys, let me see, are you guys approximately the same size? I know you guys bigger. Go. Approximately the same size. I don't really get it. Not really, but you know, approximately. Yeah, let's say you guys are approximately the same size. Yeah, let's do it like that. Nyobang! 50 stream streak! Congratulations, Jerry! You're back at it! Oh my god, let me, oh my god, I forgot to start the alerts. Also, I just realized the best way to avoid copyright strikes on these streams is by installing one of those lo-fi working games. Which I realized after starting the stream, so it's not gonna happen today. Sussy book with all the JJK fanfiction. No, there's no JJK fanfiction this time. This time we're reading a proper book. Okay, I'm starting the BTS book. Give me just a second. I want a second. What do you mean I took your voice away? No! Give me a sec. There we go.
Sussy book with all the JJK fanfiction.
No! No fanfiction. Yummy tea. See? Poor unfortunate soul. So sad. So true. Oh my god. Shell, have you considered being a streamer? Okay, let me go. Mariga. Mariga 3. Disapproving. Or is it, what kind of emote is this again? Disapprove, yeah. You have to disapprove of me. Okay. I mean, we are average Twitch chat, however. Hi, Antimatter. Hi. Looking forward to story time. I really enjoyed the Hobbit reading last year. Ooh, nice. And Kandri. I have to cringe to be a streamer. No, embrace the cringe. The cringier, the better. I mean, come on, look at, I was about to say, come on, look at Inksy. Inksy farms and harnesses the power of pure concentrated cringe, and I don't mean that negative, I mean that positive. Have you seen her shots? She's so funny, she's really cool because she's funny that way. Okay, so, tonight though. Tonight we have two things on our program. One of them is we have a premiere coming up today of my DTK cover. Looking forward to the song premiere too. My favorite. Ooh, nice. Honestly, what's your feelings about ISO? The thing that I was thinking about ISO, the funny thing is like I heard someone say, "Oh, the animators cooked so much," and I'm just sitting there and going like, you do realize the majority of the opening is still images, right? Which like doesn't detract from the fact that it's incredibly hype opening, but there is a very large amount of still images in it. Very cool looking still images, but still images nonetheless. So more like the artists cooked, but the animation part of animating the images, there's not as much of there. That does mean, for example, you know, I remember when Demon Slayer first started, the anime. And people were like screaming about how great the animation is. So I thought, well, let me check out the opening. You guys remember what the first opening of Demon Slayer looked like? Well, the budget went into the actual episodes, not the opening. Let me tell you that. Because I was like, where's the animation part? Which like to be, it's fair. It's perfectly fair. It's the first season. They, you know, they need to be careful with their budget. This is not Fate Stay Night Unlimited budget works here, right? And I'm already halfway through my tea. Have a nice lurk while drawing. Have fun. Okay, and the other thing on the program, we are reading Night on the Galactic Railroad, which is like a very classical Japanese song. It's a big book today. Honestly, it's also because well, I'm using the blankie to cover myself up, but my skirt actually goes over the blankie, so I like thought like, how can I make this, you know, a little bit better? Let me move here. So I really love this background I bought. It's so pretty. Like you have still pink stuff going on. You have butterflies. It's like really cute, but also like just like kind of a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything all of the time. Congratulations on the 3 stream streak, by the way, Comatora Brazil. Hi, Lurker. Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I found out a very interesting thing. So I actually asked Hoishi how she did this effect with moving background because I had no fucking idea. And Hoishi explained to me it's like under effect presets in VTube Studio. I thought it's like, oh, is it like an item background thing? No, it's an... And then I tried to make it work and it didn't work. Apathy's a strategy and boredom's a crime. Anyway, turns out it doesn't work with VBridger. So the signal from the iPhone needs to be sent directly to the VTube Studio or it won't work. So if my rigging is being weird today, which it is, because my mouth isn't closing properly for some reason. Hello? Where am I? Okay. Okay, apparently my mouth is not closing properly today. Great! This is why I usually use VBridger. Hi, Black Belt Shane. Commander, prepare for trouble, naked devil, to protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Jesse James, Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Yes. Let me find the other lyrics. Welcome to the internet, have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet, come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news of any famous video? That's melodramatic. Aw, sorry. There's no need to panic, this isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet, what would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet? Slur, I don't remember the correct pacing. Anyway, let's read. Let's actually read. Ito. So this is by Miyazawa Kenji. Night on the Milky Way train is the other. Night on the Milky Way train is the other translation here. Okay. So we're starting. Let me zoom the fuck into this. Kitty, why are you looking like that? You know what? I might as well grab. Nope, the cat just exited. The cat just exited into a box. That means Merlin is the one who's getting picked up. Come here. You're gonna be our star. We're starting with the chapter, A Lesson in the Afternoon. So you see, boys and girls, that is why some have called it a river, while others see a giant trace left by a stream of milk. But does anyone know what really makes up this hazy white region in the sky? Teacher pointed up and down to the smoky white zone of the Milky Way that ran across a huge black star map suspended from the top of the blackboard. He was asking everybody in the class. Campanella raised his hand, and at that, 4 or 5 others also volunteered. Giovanni was about to raise his hand, but suddenly changed his mind. Thank you! Thank you, Antimatter. Giovanni was almost sure that it was all just made up of stars. He had read that in a magazine, but lately Giovanni was sleepy in class. Nearly every day, he had no time to read books and no books to read, and felt, for some reason, that he couldn't properly follow anything anymore. The teacher noticed this instantly. Giovanni, you know what it is, don't you? Giovanni stood up courageously. But once on his feet, he wasn't able to give a clear answer. Zanelli, sitting in the seat in front of him, turned around and giggled at him. Giovanni was flustered, flushing from one ear to the other. The teacher spoke once again. If you were to take a close look at the Milky Way through a big telescope, what would you find it made of? Giovanni was now absolutely sure that he'd find stars, but just like the moment before, he couldn't get his answer out. The teacher, perplexed, finally turned his gaze to Campanella. Well, what about you, Campanella? Campanella, who had raised his hand so readily a moment ago, just stood in his place fidgeting, unable to answer the question. The teacher, no more surprised than ever, stared for some time at him and said, pointing at the star map, Well, all right then, fine. When you look at this hazy white Milky Way through a good big telescope, the blur is resulting to a great number of tiny stars. Isn't that right, Giovanni? Giovanni, now red as a beet, nodded, and before he knew it, his eyes were filled with tears, and he thought, That's right, I knew it all along, and so does Campanella, because it was all in a magazine that we once read together at Campanella's father's house, and he's a scholar. Campanella leafed through that magazine and went straight into his father's library, brought a thick book from the shelf, opened it to Milky Way, and we spent forever together looking at the lovely photograph of white specky S that covered the black page. The reason why Campanella didn't answer the teacher right away, even though there was no reason at all for him to forget, is because he feels sorry for me. Because I have to work hard before and after school, and then I feel too down in the dumps to play with everybody or even to talk with him very much. When Giovanni thought about how Campanella had deliberately not answered out of sympathy for him, he felt indescribably sad, both for himself and for Campanella. The teacher began again. So, you could think of the Milky Way as the great celestial river. Then, each and every one of these tiny little stars may be seen to be a grain of sand or pebble on the bed of that river. If we imagine it to be a giant stream of milk, then it's even more like a river, and the stars become minute fatty globules floating inside the white liquid. Wow! Now ask yourself, what does this liquid actually do? And you will see that it transmits light at a given speed through the void of space. And our sun and earth are both floating inside it too. So, you see, we are all living in the liquid of the celestial river. And when we gaze out from where we are, just as water appears bluest at its deepest spots, so will the places with the most star look to us, the whitest and haziest. That is where the sky river's bed is the densest and most far-reaching. Now look at this model. The teacher pointed to a large lens that was convex on both sides. Inside the lens, there were countless grains of sand, all gleaming. This very much resembles the shape of the Milky Way. You can think of all of these glittering stars. You can think of all these glittering grains of sand as stars, all radiating their own light just as our sun does. Our sun lies some distance from the center to the edge, and the Earth is very close by it. But imagine yourself inside this lens at night, looking out. Through this thinner part of the lens, you will only see a few grains, stars, shining. But if you look in this direction, and in this one, where the glass is thickest, you will see any number of shining grains, stars, And the farthest you look directly into the more blurry milky white everything will appear. That is how we see the Milky Way today. As for the actual size of the lens and the various stars inside it, class time is over now, so we'll discuss it again in our next science lesson. And as tonight is the Milky Way Festival, I hope that you will all go outside later and take a good close look at the sky. That's all. Just put away your books and notebooks. For a while, the whole classroom was filled with the sounds of books being stacked and desktops being creaked open and slammed down. In a moment, all stood up as straight as arrows, bowed to the teacher and left. Kitty, you wanna leave? Kitty, wanna leave. I'm letting the kitty go. Let my kitty go. That's a very short chapter. I think maybe it's... I looked up some audiobooks, and they were like 1 hour size, so maybe we can just... I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how far we get. Cheese, very good. Alright, next chapter. The printing house. As Giovanni was walking out the school gate, 7 or 8 children from his class were gathered in the yard, forming a circle around Campanella by the cherry blossom tree in the corner. In the corner, I think. Because I'm reading this from a TXT file. Okay. They were not up meeting to discuss how to get the big snake gourds that they needed to put lights into, and how to make lanterns to float down the river for the Star Festival that night. Giovanni hurried out the gate, waving his arms high in the air. He passed by many houses where people were busily preparing for the Milky Way Festival, hanging decorative bulbs made of yew tree needles from their leaves, and fixing lanterns to the branches of white cedar trees. Without stopping off at home, he turned 3 corners, entered a large printing house, greeted the man doing a count by the door in a baggy white shirt, removed his shoes, stepped onto the wooden floor, and opened the big door in front of him. Inside, all the lights were on, even though it was still afternoon. The rotary presses were clacking and clanging away, and lots of people with cloth tied around their head or visor perched over their eyes were reading or counting in sing-song and hums. Giovanni went directly to the man who was sitting at the tall 3rd desk from the door and bowed to him. You notice how it's so weird? Oh my god, this is so interesting. Guys, this is so interesting. Like, the names are Italian, right? But the mannerism feels so very Japanese when you read it, right? Or is it just me? Originally, when I first encountered references to that story in an acting manga, which was Act Age, actually, I saw the Italian names, and I assumed it's like maybe a local Italian fairy tale that I didn't know. But when I looked it up, it's Japanese. So I was like, wow, this is so interesting. All right. The man rummaged about on one of his shelves for a moment and handed Giovanni a sheet of paper, saying, "This should be enough for you to pick today." Giovanni pulled out a small flat box from the foot of the man's desk, went to his place in a well-lit corner of the room, and squatted down beside cases of type propped against the wall. He began to pick tiny type. Is this like a typo? No larger than grains of millet with a pair of tweezers. Let me Google this, because I'm not sure if this isn't the same kind of typo, because sometimes this happens when you find oh, type cases. Okay, it is. So a type case is a compartmentalized wooden box used to store movable type used in in letterpress printing. Modern factory-produced mobile type was available in the late 19th century. It was sold in the printing shop. Okay, so that's what it is. Good, now we all know. Tiny type, no larger than grains of millet, with a pair of tweezers. "Hey, Three Eyes," said the man in a blue apron passing behind him. Several men nearby sniggered coldly without saying a word or looking at him. Giovanni painstakingly picked all his type, moving his eyes over and over again. Sometime after the clock chimed 6, having thoroughly compared the flat box full of type with a sheet of paper in his hand, he returned to the man at the tall desk. The man took the box, giving him a slight, silent nod. Giovanni bowed, opened the door, and went back to the accountant dressed in white, who, also without uttering a sound, handed him one little silver coin. At this, Giovanni's face suddenly lit up. He bowed to the man in the highest The spirits took his satchel from the foot of the accountant's desk and darted for the door. From there, whistling cheerfully, he stopped in at the bread shop, bought a small loaf of bread and a bag full of sugar lumps, then sprinted off as fast as his feet would take him. And that's chapter 2. Yeah, this is gonna be very fast. But if I'm gonna record audiobook, I might need a better quality where I don't have to deal with potential typos. Alright. Home. The little house that Giovanni came home to in such high spirits was the left one in a row of 3 located off a back street. Purple cabbages and asparagus plants were growing in a wooden box beside the door, and shades were rolled down over 2 little windows. "I'm back, Mom," said Giovanni, slipping out of his shoes. "Are you feeling alright?" "Oh, Giovanni, you must have worked so hard today. It has been cold today, and I have been feeling just fine." Giovanni stepped up from the entryway onto the floor. His mother was resting in the front room with a white cloth over her face. "I bought some sugar plums today. Sugar lumps today. Sorry, sugar plums. You guys are my sugar plums." "I bought some sugar lumps today, Mom," he said, opening one of the windows. "I wanted to put a few in your milk for you." "You have some first, dear. I don't feel like it just now." "Mom, what time did Sis go back?" "Oh, around 3, I think. She did all the things for me." "Your milk hasn't come, has it?" "It should have by now," she said. "I'll go get it for you." "Don't hurry on my account. You go ahead and eat something first, Giovanni. Your sister got some tomatoes and left them there." "I'll have them then." Giovanni took himself a plate of tomatoes that was sitting by the window. "Mom, I'm sure Dad will be coming Mom, I'm sure Dad will be coming home soon now," he said, munching hungrily on the tomatoes and a piece of bread. "Anaras, thank you for the 46-month subscription, dude!" Lyria got Riz. Wow. More like I have reading skill issues. But you guys are welcome. "Yes, I think so too. But why are you so sure?" "Because it said in the morning's paper that the ketchup in the north was really great." "But you know, your father may not have come fishing up there." "No, he's out there alright. Dad couldn't have done anything bad enough that they had to send him to prison or something for. It wasn't all that long ago that he came to our school and donated all those things, like that huge crab shell and those reindeer horns. They're still keeping them in the specimen room. All the 6th graders get to see them when the teachers bring them one at a time to the classroom. Year before last, on a school excursion. Your father promised to bring you back another skin coat the next time he came back, didn't he? All the kids make fun of me about that every time they see me. Do they say nasty things to you?" "Yeah, except for Campanella. He never says nasty things. Whenever somebody does, he always looks really sorry for me." Your father and Campanella's father were close friends, just like you two when you were little." "Oh, that's why Dad used to take me sometimes to Campanella's house. Everything was so good then. I used to go all the time on my way home from school. They had a train that ran on an alcohol burner. When you hooked up 7 rails, it made a circle with telegraph poles and signals, and the train could only go when the signal light turned green. Once we ran out of alcohol, so I put in some kerosene, but the little boiler got all sooty." Hiya, Naras. Hey, dude. "Hey, dude, don't make it bad." How does this... Wait, is that... Wait. I'm changing the lyrics a bit. "Hey, Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better." It's making me remember how my dad would listen to Beatles. Alright, let's continue. But the little boy got all sooty. He did now. It's always so quiet here when I pass by every morning delivering the paper. That's because it's still early. Remember, yes. Ayashel, could you clip the wrist? Please. Alright. Thank you for the following, Slencio TX. Thank you. They've got a dog named Sour, and he's got a tail just like a broom. He yaps and sniffs, and when I'm there, he follows me all the way to the end of the block. Sometimes he even follows me further. Tonight, everybody's going to make lanterns out of snake cords and float them down the river. I'll bet anything the dog will follow us. That's right, tonight was the Milky Way festival. Uh-huh. I'll go get your milk and have a look on the way back. Alright, you do that. But don't go on the river, Giovanni. I'll just watch from the bank. I'll only be gone for an hour. You don't have to come back so soon. I'm not worried as long as you're with Campanella. Oh, we'll be together, all right? Should I close the window for you, Mom? Well, let me see. It's already getting cool now, I suppose. Giovanni rose, closed the window, put away his plate and the remaining bread, whipped his shoes on and said, "Then, I'll be back in an hour and a half." He passed through the doorway. He passed through the dark doorway. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the music is a bit louder. Oh, we can fix that. We can fix that. I can make it quieter. Maybe like this. The mic itself should be the correct one, though. There we go. Is it better now? I'm also reading it kind of quietly. The mic is correct, yes. You guys can tell immediately. Can tell immediately if I'm using the wrong microphone. Oh yeah, hi the silent tone. Hi. Undo. Alright. Yeah, I'm thinking the book is comparatively short. Maybe I can just like do it in one go. But wait, I just need to keep track of the time because of the premiere, which is yes, 25 minutes. In 25 minutes. Then I'll post the link in both chats and set us to BRB. Yes. Go. Alright, back to the novel. Night of the Centaur Festival. But it's the Milky Way Festival. I'm questioning the quality of the version I found online. But that is fine. For the separate recordings, maybe I'll get a different one. Alright. With his lips puckered, as if he were whistling some sad song, Giovanni came walking towards town down a slope. There was a pitch black tunnel with thickly growing white cedars. This is such an interesting guys. This is such an interesting phrasing. Giovanni came walking towards town down a slope that was a pitch black tunnel of thickly growing white cedars. This is okay. I just really need to know what white cedars are spelled in Japanese. I just really have to know. I just really wanna know. Oh, they look really pretty. But also, aren't there like, when you look at them, their natural range is actually, wait, where is this even? These are the from United States, but okay. Tonikaku, Nihongo. Oh, that's not, maybe that's not it. White cedar tree. No, it seems like White Cedar Tree actually refers to the one in United States, or maybe it's like a translation. There's a different one, Atlantic White Cedar. But this one is also American. How interesting. Shakespeare's outline, my goodness. Yes, I know, right? I know, right? Let me copy this line. I just need to share it with some writing friends. I don't even know where to share it. Because yeah, this is really great. We should read Shakespeare and watch me suffer. Because quick story time before I continue reading. I feel like willows are more beautiful for like a creepy aesthetic. Yeah. Willows, this is an interesting thing because white cedars have already been brought up in the previous chapter in the text. Willows have interesting aesthetic. For one, willows are, you guys know that willows contain the precursor for aspirin, like the willow bark. And in theory, a lot of parts of the willow are actually edible. So there's that. But willows, especially in Japan, have also a lot of tie, like the weeping willow, you know, with ghost stories and more like otherworldly. On the other hand, I feel like the healing aspect is what ends up tying it with canon, the Bodhisattva canon, because willow branches are part of the symbolism. So I wonder if there is a certain type of symbolism in white cedar that I'm missing. Don't worry, antimatter. Don't worry, antimatter. No, I know all of this shit because I researched that shit for GGK fanfic purposes. Which is why I know that willow branches are part of the symbolism tied to Kanon Bodhisattva. Because that was needed for my fanfic research and I have not used it at all, but I know this now. Right. Oh my god, my ADHD is starting again. My ADHD is starting again. I need to do a certain something. I need to write down to do for tomorrow. Okay, good. I did it. Wow, Lyria is so smart. No, I'm not that smart. I just went down a rabbit hole. But I've been lately a little bit burnt out on all the research, so it's like, meh. Instead, I feel so for relaxing, I did a lot of relaxing today. I did some cleaning and some relaxing today, and groceries, but like mostly relaxing. And I read. I've been reading Webtoon. I've been catching up on the Webtoon I started reading a while ago. Absolute Sword Sense, which is like, you know, martial arts, Murim style of Webtoon. And now I'm really hyped for Murim style Webtoons and I just really want to read more and I don't know what, and let's see if I find something. I feel like that's why willows were for Harry Potter since they get injured a lot. Well, maybe. Honestly, the funny thing is, I don't think the Whomping Willow in the movies actually looks like a willow. Because willows have these drooping branches. Oh, but I did use willows in the part of the fanfic that's never getting published. I read so many fanfic Webtoons, so... yeah. I also should go read a friend's fanfic. I should just go read a lot more. I feel like maybe I should just relax and just read a lot. Whatever I feel like. But on Wednesday we're reading fanfics of my friends and people I know that I've asked permission for again. It will be only 2. It will be, yeah. Oh my god, that reminds me. Let me ask a certain... Then what now? Fanfic! Fanfiction! Shortened as fanfic. Let me ask a certain person if I may read their fanfic live on stream. In what genre? It's GGK fanfic. I signed up for my local library last year. That was a great idea. I don't think I'd be going to a library because having borrowed books puts me in great distress, and then I end up procrastinating because having a book that I have to return stresses the shit out of me. Yes, Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll be continuing the absolute total niche of Esikuna fanfics. We'll be reading Two Heads Better Than One, and then we'll be also finally reading the one that I wanted to read last stream. I did that way. The Road to Malevolence, which is like the big one. I'd say it's like the big one after A Gentler World. Frankly speaking, I think the author of A Gentler World also joined that one Discord, but I don't remember who it was, and I don't know if I should write them and ask them because I don't think they reacted. I've been read a lot of Harry Potter, Friends, Scott, Modern Family, Naruto, many fanfics, but I'm more here. I used to have a lot of, I used to read a lot, like, for a while, the most, franchises I've read fanfics from were Final Fantasy VII. There were a few good ones in Final Fantasy IX. I read a lot of, Fix-It Fix in time travel fanfics. It's probably one of my favorite genres for whatever reason. Obviously I read also lots of Harry Potter fanfics back in the day. Avatar The Last Airbender. My need for Avatar The Last Airbender fanfics with Zuko as the focus of the story was so bad that I even read some absolute fucking trash, where I absolutely hated it and I thought the authors were full of shite. Of course, there's Sukuna. No, here's the thing. The genre is a self-insert OC, where you create an OC that you insert as Sukuna, replacing the original. So it kind of follows into the fix-it genre, but except, you know, in my own writing, I put the tag fix-it of sorts, meaning I want to fuck everyone up. But I want the end result to be good. Thumbs up. My local library also includes an app where I can rent ebooks. Oh god, that sounds so great. Maybe I should look into that. Alright, which ones? I also read for a while a lot of Game of Thrones. I think actually it's Game of Thrones that get me into this self-insert genre. Because on one of those forums, there's like... These were... So I didn't read as much as fanfics. Actually, there's one that was deleted of AO3, which is an absolute fucking crime. It was one of the best of its genre, and there's not enough of that genre. It was called Promise Me Cat. I think some people managed to archive almost all of the 13 existing chapters, but the fact that it was deleted is a fucking crime. Dear author, if you hear me, please, for the love of God, please re-upload it. Please. It doesn't matter if it's abandoned. I'd reread it even if it stops. Please. So we are Sukuna. Yes, we are Sukuna. Well, it's not reader. I don't really like... This is the funniest shit. The first time I started writing the fanfic, I wrote it in second person. Because that was the easiest for me to write. But I actually can't fucking stand reading in second person. I need to get my fanfiction game up, don't worry. So, right, about Game of Thrones fanfics. So, what I've done was, like, I was a lot into theories. The funniest shit, I have not actually read much of Song of Ice and Fire, but I was on this forum where they would discuss the individual theories and all kinds of ideas. And I was really into that forum, so like I was totally up on canon because I was just on that fucking forum and reading it. And from that forum I got into some other forums, and there was this interactive storytelling forums where you let the readers vote for what happens next, and then you write that part, right? And there was one story that got actually finished. I don't remember if I finished reading it until the end, but somebody got inserted into Game of Thrones as Lord Bolton. And boy, that was so well written. I fucking loved it. And this is, I guess, where the self-insert, where I started into the self-insert genre. There were a lot of stories in the self-insert genre which, like, I really hated. I haven't read any Persona 3 fanfics. We should still play Persona 3. Actually, let's put a hold onto the reading because the premiere is really soon. So I'll need to start copy-pasting the link to everything. And a lot of those fix-it fanfics were like, oh, you're right with all this advanced knowledge and you suddenly fix it, and I absolutely hated those. The reason why I hated those because everyone had like Wikipedia accurate knowledge of all the technology. Bitch, unless you work into that field and have access to a phone, you're not gonna even know how paper is properly made. Because I tried from the... Like, I thought about it, like, if I tried to make paper, like, what do I remember how paper is made? I was actually not able to come up with a full recipe on how paper is made. Because I completely missed out that you're supposed to also add starch to it. So I would have already failed, and I do not believe that you guys know all of this shit by heart. Not unless it's like a really specific interest. You don't have this much broad knowledge. And those I really hated because it felt like very unrealistic to me. But then there was one, I read like only the first part of it because I caught up to what was going on, and then I kind of stopped because I caught up. Somebody self-inserted as Rhaegar, and it's a I don't remember if they're like a literature student or a theater student, and they were really into Shakespeare, so they used that to recreate Shakespeare. But this one works. You see, this one works because they were into theater, and that was their specific field of knowledge. They didn't suddenly create all this technology, guns. They didn't suddenly create guns. They didn't create soap. They didn't create paper. They were like, this is their field of expertise, and it's part of their character, so it makes sense, right? Actually, let me prepare the message for promoting my cover. Yes. Done. There we go. Prepared it. Okay. I saw the bookworm isekai and still don't know how paper is made. I know, right? We are not mine. Yeah. I read one of the Transmigrator that has a system with like technology and was a hacker. Most of the text was like hacker mechanics, and I was like, I don't understand anything understandable. The time I got integrated as word for word. Guys, there is actually a story that got recommended to me with a self-insert where the reincarnator, the transmigrator, is actually the diary of Voldemort. That's where they got transmigrated. So that premise sounds really amazing. It's really funny. I'm reading one called Harry Potter, I Am Grindelwald's Assault, which is pretty good. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting one. Though it depends on which Grindelwald lore they go. Though for my taste in fanfics, I like the funny ones. So you guys, I think you guys are really gonna like Two Heads Are Better Than One, because that one is like really funny. Like, The Road to Malevolence is a good balance between funny and serious, but Two Heads Are Better Than One is just fucking hilarious, and it just gets better and better every chapter. Okay, let me prepare the message on Skype and Twitch. No, not Twitch, Twitch. Go to Twitch. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh no, I forgot. Switcher doesn't like that. Whoop. Okay, like this, and yes, and the new thumbnail because I pre-prepared it. Shit. There we go. Got it. Now I need to copy pasta this onto this guy. This guy, ready? Oh yeah. I had actually considered various kinds of other self-insert ideas, but I haven't really gotten very far. Oh, I can't actually post anything here. I'll also promote here, and everything else to promote here, and do this in here. Okay. Right, everyone. In 2 minutes, I'm gonna start promoting. Oh yeah. Raider, Conry, hope you're doing well. Yeah. Oh right, I also need to post the link in the chats. So, watch premiere here. I'm gonna finish. Watch premiere here. I'm gonna pin this. I am so good at this. Yeah, I haven't been really into Harry Potter as of late, so I'm like not particularly into it. I feel like I do. Let me see. There was also one really cool story. I should read it, which was written for Disgaea 3 on. I also should totally read Embers. Right. Remember how I said I was really into Zuko's focused fanfics because I really liked his character the most. And so at some point, because I also was kind of forced to read trash because I just couldn't get enough Zuko content. That was back on when I only knew about fanfiction.net. I didn't know about Archive of Our Own until like pretty recently. And a lot of the trash like really did mischaracterization, or like they would abuse the character to the point where it felt like a disservice to the other characters by portraying them like incredibly cruel, and it was just the authors taking it out on the characters. And then at that point of time, while I was getting really annoyed, Embers happened, and Embers changed a lot of views in fanfiction for me. Okay, I can post the promo stuff. You know what? I'll just be incredibly selfish. I also promoted on this server. There we go. Alright, already? Yes. So the thing that Embers did that was extensive and really changed like everyone's standards for how they perceive how a fanfic should be written. I feel like it changed like brain chemistry for a lot of people. That I recommend that fans Oh, I didn't know that one. I remember the Prince of the Dark Kingdom though, but I dropped it at some point around year 5 or 6 because it got really into the Fae lore, and at some point I felt like it divorced a little bit too far, and I just ran out of fucks to give. But at the same time, like, there needs to be a balance between diverging too far from the original for a fanfic and adding extended lore, because I love extended lore. I love when people research cultural stuff, historical stuff, and like all this stuff that it's based on, because this is what Vathara did for Embers, right? She researched a lot about the cultures that this was based on, researched about elements, researched about agriculture and about different types of flora and climates and geology. I just fucking can't. And she did create original characters, and I feel like a lot of people dropped off when those characters were a little bit focused for too long. For me, it was also like, well, I came to read about the story about the main characters, but she integrated them fairly fluently into it in the end, that it didn't feel too drawn out. And Embers had a lot of... Embers was so big that it received like criticism to it, and the criticism is valid, but because of the situational context of when I came in contact with it, I'm willing to, you know, it's valid, but I still really like it. So yeah, I guess, like, I have some guilty pleasures, like the person who got me into fanfiction is a person named Suikorin. I don't think they write anymore, but they wrote a Suikoden 4 fanfic, and they wrote a Final Fantasy 9 fanfic with like really deeper lore, and I think she's like this is what got me into fanfiction in the first place. It's kind of understandable why Embers appealed to me so much, because they balance it really well. Unfortunately, Suikorin never finished their stories, but if you're out there, I love you! There we go. But yes, Embers has to be hands down like probably the fanfic I gotta say is the best one. And among the Esekuna subgenre, The Road to Malevolence is looking up to be the second coming of it. And guys, the premiere is starting. I'll see you guys there. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I can, I guess, unpin stuff. Unpin, yes. And back to the Vtuber chat. Hi, Aru! Hi! Welcome! Just saw you! Just came back from the premiere. There we go. Right. That's where we are in the fanfics. As you guys know, I'm writing my own fanfic that is not gonna get linked, but I read it last stream. I still haven't written the 4th chapter because I'm in the process of retconning Hinata's backstory, because why would I not do that? Why would I not set myself up for more failure? I don't know, guys. Yeah, I hope you really liked the song. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah, and I am working on more JJK covers, but I don't think I'll be able to catch up to all of the songs this year. So I guess for my cover album, I'll have to wait until next year. But please look forward to more JJK covers this year. I think I'm gonna like get through half of the songs by the end of the year. Well, probably close to half, because I don't know if they're gonna like, there's probably gonna be a second opening and a second ending for season 3. So I don't know about that. We'll see. I do really like Aizo and the new ending, and yeah. Alright. I poured myself more tea, so let's continue reading, and then once I run out of tea, I'll have to go make me one. Alright. Night of the Centaur Festival. With his lips puckered, as if he were whistling some sad song, Giovanni came walking towards town down a slope. It was a pitch-black tunnel of thickly growing white cedars. A single tall street lamp, radiating a brilliant yet soft light, stood at the foot of the slope. As he steadily made his way towards the lamp, his shadow, which had been trailing behind him like a lanky, blurry, murky ghost, became darker and more distinct, kicking up its legs and swinging its arms until turning around to his side. Damn, this is really... This prose, man. I looked towards it. I love more than words. I'm gonna confess, more than words is actually planned for next year. Because like, so I'm gonna confess, I recorded, so one of the songs, thematically, is gonna be released for my anniversary. I think I'm just gonna straight up either drop it on 28th or 24th of February. And then there's, obviously I promised I'd cover Ao no Sumika. Some of you guys might already know that I have recorded the cover of Akari, because I started drawing art for that cover because I'm gonna be stingy and I'm gonna use my own crappy art skills, my own crappy video making skills. By video making skills is like pasting the text, the lyrics onto the video, yes. We're all on 2027, yes. So we have Ao no Sumika, we have a song you guys probably might as well have guessed which one it will be. Then we have Ao no Sumika. I definitely want to cover Aizo this year. What else did I have planned from JJK this year? So I have Bitweiser released and one in February. There's gonna be Ao no Sumika, Akari, Aizo. I think there's... Oh, right. There's gonna be a song for Halloween, so that's 6 songs. And then it's gonna depend. I was considering covering a song from other series that was really popular, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like not this year. So I might cover either Give It Back this year, or I might cover the Yoakinota this year. So it would be like 7 songs, which is like 7 out of 12 releases. Like, man. So like you have to guess what's gonna be released on my anniversary, and you have to guess the Halloween song. But I think like the Halloween song is, I mean, that's that was crappy. Then I'm trash at art. I don't know, were you for the art stream there? Because I keep them archived, and I still have to fix it. I probably will fix it off stream. Because I had to ask an art friend to help me fix the arms, and there's like lots of proportions bullshit that I got wrong. So I'll probably just redraw the body. The head is fine, the face is fine. But like probably redraw the body and the clothes, and then maybe once I'm finished with that, we could try watch me render shit. Which is still gonna be bad, but like this is fine. Quotation with question mark. Oh, and I also made the mistake with the background. I should make the background as all completely separate layers so that I can maybe add some movement towards the character creation in it. But this is a future me problem. This is a future me problem. Oh, we'll worry about that later. Back to the reading. I'm a great locomotive. I'm speeding up here because this is an incline. I'm going to pass that landmass any second now. Hey now, my shadow's the needle of a compass. It's gone around in a circle, and it's right in front of me. That is what Giovanni was thinking as he took giant steps beneath the street lamp. Just then, Zanelli, who had sniggered at him in class that day, came out of a dark alleyway on the other side of the post. He was wearing a new shirt with pointed collars, and he all but bumped into Giovanni as their paths crossed. Giovanni wanted to say, "Zanelli, are you going to the river to float goods?" But before he could get the words out, Zanelli yelled nastily from behind, "Giovanni's getting an autocrat from his father!" Procrastination, that's what it's called, yes. But also, like, art is sometimes like, I don't know if you guys have been longer in my art streams, but if you see me scream, it's like art is triggering some sort of neurodivergency in my brain. It's extremely overwhelming. It's like I have to put down the art pen after like 2 hours, because it's like it's not the same as playing Doom, but sometimes it's comparable. Wow, art is war. Alright. Giovanni's heart suddenly went cold, and he heard a ringing in his ears coming from all around him. "Who do you think you are, Zanelli?" he screamed back, but Zanelli had already disappeared into a house with a white cedar tree in front. What's the white cedar tree symbolism here? Art block is real. Forget art block. I'm just. It's no. It's just anatomy is overwhelming because you can tell that you're doing it wrong, but you can't tell what is right. You know that? Why does he keep saying those things when I haven't done anything to him? He looks just like a rat when he runs away like that. He's so stupid. That's his problem. Giovanni's mind was leaping from one thing to another as he passed through town, with all the houses decorated in the most beautiful array of ornamented branches and lights. The watchmaker's shop had a bright fluorescent light in the window, and an owl made of stone, whose red eyes rolled around every second. All kinds of jewels were pinned on a platter made of thick glass and the color of the sea. The platter rotated, revolving,
revolving the starlight jewels and bringing a copper centaur around from the other side. Between the centaur and the jewels, there was a circular black map of the heavens decorated with green asparagus leaves. Giovanni forgot himself in the map of the heavens. Painfully relatable, yes. It was much smaller than the star chart that he had seen at school earlier that day. But with this one, all he had to do was to set the date and time by turning the platter, and the sky for that night would appear in the oval opening. The Milky Way ran straight through the middle, a smoky zone of white stretching from one end to the other, with what looked like vapors of steam rising, as if after an explosion from the bottom reaches. Further into the shop stood a small telescope on a glowing yellow tripod, and behind that, on a back wall, hung a big map depicting the entire sky and constellations of bizarre beasts, snakes, fish, and bottle shapes. Giovanni wondered if the sky was really so crammed with scorpions and brave warriors and things, and he thought, standing there in the daze, I'd like nothing more than to travel inside there as far as the human could go. Then, suddenly he remembered the milk for his mother, and he walked away from the watchmaker's shop. He went through town swinging his arms and straining to swell up his chest on purpose, even though the shoulders of his coat were pinching him. The air was crystal clear, flowing through the streets and past the shops, as if it were water. Street lamps were tucked away among the dark green branches of fir and oak, and the 6 flame trees in front of the electric company, decked inside, outside, and everywhere with miniature light bulbs, made the whole place look like the court of the mermaids under the sea. All of the children, dressed in freshly pressed kimonos, were whistling the tune of the rotating stars, or whistling the tune of the rotating stars, or running about and shouting, "Or Centaur, let the dew fall!" Okay, I have many questions. Why are there Italian names when the people are dressed in kimono? You know what? I'm just not gonna ask. I'm just not even gonna ask. As they happily played, fireworks of blue magnesium burnt in the sky. But Giovanni, his head drooping down, was far away from that lively atmosphere about him. He hurried in the direction of the dairy. He found himself on the edge of the town, where countless poplar trees stood as if floating up into the starry sky. He opened the darkened gate of the dairy and stopped by the dusky kitchen, which smelled of cows. He took off his cap, calling out, "Good evening." There's so many descriptions of trees. This is so interesting. So we have white cedar, we have poplar trees, we have fir and oak. That's so interesting. I wonder if there's like more symbolism to this. Why these trees in particular? Symbolism of cedar. Spiritual meaning of cedar. It's a symbol of strength and resilience. It doesn't really say much about Japan, but like it's often used to cleanse spaces and energies, removing negativities. It's believed to create a shield against harmful influences. So there's like very spiritual. Okay. Okay, what about symbolism of poplar tree? Grief and mourning, transition and change, protection and sacredness. Greek mythology, Norse mythology. Oh, interesting. So far it's kind of hard to tell. But oak trees make me associate like with big and strong. And I have no fucking idea what poplar actually looks like.
If you made me go out and try to have me name a tree, I'd be lost unless it's like something very obvious. I'd be like, ah, yes, this is a tree. Oh my god, I remember in school, we once got this task, like in grade school, to go outside and name all the trees. And except for birch trees, oak trees, what do you call them? Wait, what do you call them? No, I already forgot. Maple, yes, maple. Maples. So birches, willows, maples, oaks, and like any kinds of needle trees. I guess I'd be able to tell apart. Wait, a fir tree? Isn't a fir tree also a needle tree, or am I just like mixing shit up? Yeah, it's a needle tree. I'd be able to tell some of the needle trees depending on the language. But yeah, like, but other trees, I'd be like, have you never played Minecraft? No, I never played Minecraft. See, I'm a very old person, so I didn't grow up on Minecraft. And while everyone was playing it, I was kind of like busy with life. And for a very long time, like, I literally started streaming for the sake of playing all of my backlog of games. That was the initial motivation to start streaming. So yeah, I never played Minecraft. I'd never even had it installed. I'm not joking. I have no idea, which is why, like, if anyone ever tried to invite me to a Minecraft collab, I'd be so fucking lost. Like, don't even bother, I'm sorry. Which is kind of sad because there's lots of role-playing Minecraft collabs, which is really cool. But, like, I wouldn't know the first thing about it. Alright. Good evening. But it looked quiet inside, without a soul in sight. Good evening, he called loudly again, standing up for her street. Anybody home? After a while, an old woman shuffled out. She did not look well at all, and mumbled to herself, What do you want? We didn't get any milk at my place today, said Giovanni in a spirited voice. So I'm here to fetch it. The old woman scratched a patch of skin under her red eye and looked down at Giovanni. No around here now. No around here now. I don't know. Come back tomorrow, she said. But my mom's sick, so we must have it by tonight. Well, in that case, come back a little later. The old woman was almost gone when Giovanni called out, A little later? Well, thank you. Bowed and left. When Giovanni was about to turn the corner into town, he noticed 6 or 7 boys in front of the grocer's on the road to the bridge. Their black shapes mingled strangely with their dimly glowing white shirts. They were each carrying a lighted gourd lantern, whistling and laughing. There was no mistaking those whistles and laughs. They belonged to Giovanni's classmates. At first, Giovanni started to turn back, but then he changed his mind and headed for the bridge with very short strides. Going to the river? That's what he wanted to say, but the words got stuck in his throat. And before he could say anything at all, Zanelli hollered, Giovanni's getting an otter coat! Immediately everyone joined in, Giovanni's getting an otter coat! Giovanni, blushing to his ears, started to walk. He was already past them when he noticed Campanella standing tall among them. Campanella was keeping silent, with a smile of soft compassion on his lips. No doubt worried that Giovanni might take offense at the other's words. Giovanni avoided Campanella's gaze as he left his friend behind. He heard the others break out in their loud whistling again. He turned the corner, looking back at them, and saw Zanelli looking back too. Campanella now, whistling with all his might, was disappearing into the milky white haze surrounding the bridge. Giovanni, overwhelmed by sadness, there's a typo here, began to, out of the blue, as all the little children who thought that Giovanni was just making fun of it,
hopped about on one leg, screaming, yelling, and hooting with their hands over their ears. In an instant, he found himself hurrying back towards a black hill.
I don't know, I need to put Giovanni, the leader of... No, a different one. That's the name of the protagonist. But is Giovanni getting another coat? An otter coat. Otter.
News, that's wrong. Exactly.
I don't know. We'll hear in the end. And there are some words. I think it's like a conversion of a PDF to a TXT, and some of there's a consistently typos of some words. Begin to MN, whatever that is, out of the blue. And I can't tell what type of typo that is. And the Johnny was just in for the fun of it. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Otter. Yes, otter. Like some I can guess, like the corner is an easy one because it's like auto conversion from instead of RN becomes an N. I have no idea what they're supposed to. I need to find it. I need to actually get the PDF or ebook for the proper reading. Alright.
Next chapter. The weather station pillar. Beyond the pasture, the hills rolled on one after another, while their flat, blackened peaks seemed to be lined up lower than usual, dim and hazy below the Big Dipper in the northern sky. Sorry, playing GTRP, and I heard Giovanni was like, what? Lol, no. Giovanni is the name of the protagonist. I have Giovanni who's the protagonist and his besto friendo, Campanella. But understandable. Giovanni was already deep inside a grove of trees that were dripping with dew. He climbed steadily up a narrow path that was like a thread illuminated by starlight, a single clearing in a thicket of dark plants, taking on all shapes and sizes. There were tiny insects gleaming blue amid the bushes, rendering their leaves a transparent green and reminding him of the lanterns that all the children had been carrying. Johnny came out of the pitch-black pine and oak wood, and all of a sudden there was a vast sky above him, with the Milky Way, soft and blurry white, streaming from north to south. He could make out the pillar of the weather station at the top of the slope. There was a carpet of daisies and bellflowers. The fragrance was so strong that he felt you could smell it through a dream. A single bird passed over him, crying above the hill. Giovanni came to the base of the weather station pillar at the very top of the hill and, shuddering, plucked down into the cold grass. The lights of the town below were burning through the darkness, as if the town itself were a miniature shrine at the bottom of the sea. He could faintly hear snatches of the children's screams and bits of whistles and songs. The wind howled far away, and all the hill's plant life rustled. His sweat-soaked shirt started to give him a chill as he looked down on the distant sweeping black field from the edge of the town. The sound of a train came to him from the field. It was a little train with a single row of tiny red windows, and inside it, all of the passengers were peeling apples, laughing, and doing one thing and another. This made Giovanni feel immensely sad, and he once again gazed up at the sky. But no matter how hard he looked at the sky, he just couldn't see the cold, barren place that the teacher had described in class. On the contrary, the more deeply he stared into it, the more he saw a field with little groves of trees and pastures. Then he noticed the blue stars of Lyria, the harp multiplying, twinkling, all the while, and the harp itself stretching out its legs and pulling them in until it looked like a long flat mushroom. As for the town just below, it took on the single appearance of a blurry cluster of countless stars, or a single enormous puff of smoke.
Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. I think we're getting to the... Oh my god, I guess we're getting to the train now. Actually, I saw there was a cartoon adaptation with cats, which is interesting. I kind of... Actually, I want to know. I want to know if there's more adaptations that you can watch it, because this sounds incredibly lovely. This sounds like something Studio Ghibli would make. So much. Actually, the original title is Tinga no Tetsudo no Yoru. Sometimes translated as Milky Way Railroad, Night Train on the Stars, a fantasy railroad on the stars. Yeah. It's from 1927. 9-chapter novel. Was posthumously published in Bunkudo in 1934. Okay, so it was mostly adapted in the 1985 anime film with the same title as well as various stage plays and musicals. I guess there wasn't really that much adaptation. Yeah. See, the reason why I picked, I thought it would be good for reading, because this should be fine, because this is past the what you call it, the 75 years, the public domain, right? Because I can't read not public domain. There's another book that was recommended to me that was much harsher, and I still haven't gotten around to read it. But it's gonna take a while for it to get. Let me see how when I would be able to read that book on stream. Oh yeah, no, that's wait. Give me a second. 75. Oh yeah, so in 2 years' time, I will be able to read that book. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like this one is really cool. Actually, there is there's this thing. In the Tohoku region of Japan, where Kenji Miyazawa grew up, there is a real-life train line of a similar name, Iwate Galaxy Railway Line, Iwate Ginga Tetsudo-sen, running from Morioka Station to Metoki Station. I should totally go there. Okay, there's also references in Galaxy Express 999. In Doraemon, there is a reference. Revolutionary Girl Itena has an allusion to Campanelas, what happens. In one of the Dot Heck light novels, there is reference. The character Matamune in Shaman King is often seen traveling by train in the afterlife and in the real world, which is also an allude. There's a lot like Kikitata Japan in the manga Aria. There's also that. Oh, damn. Actually, Utada Hikaru's Heart Station song contains albums. Take 5 contains uses the novel as basics. Oh my god. Heiser Sniper, 5 push-ups, I'll do that. Our Penguin Drum apparently also references. Oh my god, we should totally rewatch. I mean, I watched Marvel Penguin Drum, but we should totally watch Marvel Penguin Drum. That was also like such an interesting thing. Yeah, there is a lot of, in the mobile game Magia Record, the Madoka Magica spin-off, there's references to it. Oh yeah, in manga Act Age, that one. That's where I first encountered it. In the Needy Girl Overdose, one of the endings is a direct reference to the novel. Like, it's very much a beloved piece of fiction. Right, I need to quickly do 5 push-ups, and then I'll go to the next chapter called Milky Way Station.
Kitty, how do I not roll the chair over you? Why are you both so cute? You're a criminal. Two criminals. Good boy. Push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your patience, Kitty. No, you can't flee. You can't flee from me. I'm gonna floof you. There we go. 1 floof rectangle muscle gone. Onegaemasu. Actually, I just realized I'm missing a certain 2 kitties here on this overlay. Let's get them here. Let's get them here. Let's get them here. There we go. There you big boyos. Oh, wait, I'm moving something else. Guess we're gonna put them here. Oh. No, they have to be above. In this case. Let me put them on the chat about. So they can actually see what I'm doing. Look at kitties. Now escape from the kitty. From the kitty and for the kitty, yes, both. Big kittens. Yes, they are very big. They are always for my kittens. Even though Merlin, you turned 8 years this year. And such a cutie. The thing that I really love about Merlin, when he gets really cuddly, he just like, in the morning too, he just grabs my hand, my other hand, the one that I'm petting him with his paws, and he just holds me close. Just like, oh my god, he's so sweet. He's the sweetest boy. What? Will you hold me? No? You wanna leave? I wanna leave. I guess he only wants to do this in the morning. Like it's around... Why are you going? Why are you going into the desk? Nobody allowed you to go into the desk, so now you're staying trapped. Alright. Now you're gonna meet with me. Meet with everyone. Say hi. Good. Alright. Milky Way Station. Then Giovanni saw the weather station pillar right behind him take on the vague shape of a triangular sign, flickering on and off like a firefly. Then, when the blur in his eyes cleared, everything became clear and finely outlined, and the sign with its light soared straight up into the dense cobalt blue field of the sky, as if it were a sheet of freshly tempered steel. Out of the blue, he was sure he heard a strange voice calling, "Milky Way Station! Milky Way Station!" And before his eyes, there was a flash flood of intensely bright light, as if billions and billions of phosphorescent cuttlefish had fossilized at their most radiant instant and then plunged into the sky, or as if someone had discovered a hidden cache of precious jewels that the diamond company had been hoarding to bolt the price sky high, turning the whole treasure topsy-turvy and lavishing them throughout the heavens. Giovanni found himself wiping his eyes over and over, blinded by the sudden dazzle. By the time he came to, he had for some time now been chugging along on the little train. It was really him on the nighttime narrow gauge railroad, gazing out the window of the wagon with its little row of yellow lights. Inside, the seats, nearly all empty, were covered in green velvet, with 2 big brass buttons gleamed on the varnished grey wall opposite of him. Yes. No, Kitty, no escape for you. I'm not letting you go. Never. You're mine. Giovanni noticed a tall boy in a jet black coat, poking his head out the window in the seat directly in front of him. He could have sworn, judging from the boy's shoulders, that he had seen him somewhere before.
Never settle.
Never settle, lurker.
He could have sworn, judging from the boy's shoulders, that he had seen him somewhere before. He wanted to know who it was so much he couldn't stand it. But just as he was about to stick his head out the window and take a look, the boy popped his head in and turned towards him. It was Campanella! Giovanni was about to ask him if he had been on the train from the very beginning, but Campanella spoke up sooner. Everybody ran so fast, but they missed the train. Even Zanelli ran like mad, but he couldn't catch up with me. Giovanni thought to himself, I got it. We got a pact to go away together. But he said, should we wait for them somewhere down the line? Zanelli went home already, said Campanella. His father came to get him. Campanella's face turned pale, and he looked as if something were hurting him. Giovanni felt funny inside, as though he couldn't remember something that he had somewhere forgotten. Oh, damn it, said Campanella, coming alive and peering out the window again. I've forgotten my water bottle. And I've forgotten my sketchbook too. Well, no matter. We'll be coming into the swan station soon. There's nothing I like better than watching swans. I'm sure I'll be able to see them no matter how far down the river they fly. Hope you're having a great day, Lurker. And everyone too.
You need to get brushed. You're having nuts. You're a very naughty boy with lots of fur.
Campanella looked down at the round blade-like map in his hand. Busily turning it round and round. On the map, a single track of rails skirted the left bank of the whitened Milky Way, tracing its way south and further south again. But the really fantastic thing was that the map, a platter black as night itself, was inlaid with little whistle stops and triangular signs, one after the other, and forests and miniature lakes all shining beautifully in blue, green, and bitter orange. Giovanni was convinced that he had seen that map somewhere before. Yeah, it's the map from the clockmaker's shop. Where did you buy that map? He asked. It's made of obsidian, isn't it? I got it at the Milky Way, at Milky Way station. You didn't get one too? Gee, I'm not sure if I went through Milky Way station. We're around here now, aren't we? Giovanni pointed at a place directly north of a sign that reads Swan Station. Right. Oh, good heavens. I wonder if that dry riverbed is moonlight. When the two of them looked, they saw the pale bank of the Milky Way glisten with pampas grass, growing all along it, rustling and swishing, blowing in the wind, into billows of waves in the silver sky. That's not moonlight. It's shining because it's the Milky Way, said Giovanni. Giovanni, feeling so elated that he wanted to jump up and down, tapped his feet, poked his head out the window, and whistled the tune of the rotating stars, as if his life depended on it. He couldn't get a clear picture of the water in the river, no matter how hard he looked at it. He kept staring and staring until he gradually saw that the clear water was more like crystal than glass. Even more transparent than hydrogen. Huh? And maybe it was just his eyes, but the water and spots seemed to be making delicate purple ripples or glistening rainbows of light as it flowed steadily, silently along. Phosphorescent triangular signs, beautifully erect, patched the sky. The faraway objects were small, the closer ones large, the faraway ones distantly yellow, bitter orange, the closer ones pale, faintly hazy. Some objects were triangular, others rectangular, some the shape of chains, others the shape of lightning, but they were all in place, filling the field of light. Giovanni felt his heart throbbing down to his toes.
What an interesting turn of phrase.
He shook his head for all he was worth. Then, as far and as wide as his eyes could see, the blues and oranges and all the luminescent sight began to tremble and flicker, as if they were alive and breathing themselves. I've made it right into the sky's field, cried Giovanni. He leaned out the window and pointed to the front of the train with his left hand, adding, Besides, this train isn't burning coal at all. It's run on alcohol or electricity, said Campanella. The beautiful little train, chugging and clanking its way through the pampas grass that waved in the sky through the waters of the Milky Way, and the glimmering milky white lights of triangles and deltas, was running on its endless journey. Oh, gentians are blooming. It's autumn for sure, said Campanella, pointing out the window. Magnificent purplish gentians, so fine that they might have been carved out of moonstone, grew along the closed cropped grass that lined the track. Just you watch me hop right out up here. Get some of those flowers and jump back in, said Giovanni, his heart leaping with excitement. Too late, said Campanella. We left them behind now. But no sooner had the words left his lips then had another batch of gentians flash brightly past them, and then another, and another, cups with yellow at their heart, gushing, passing in front of their eyes like rain, and a row of triangular signs, some smoky, others burning, rose up, radiant for all the world to see.
Damn, man. Oh my god, this is really good. Okay, Merlin, yes, I will leave you out, and then I need to brush your coat. Because you've been very naughty. Arthur, do you want to be the next victim?
He looks so comfy.
Chat, should I make Arthur the next victim? I need to take a sip. I think we're moving along very fast, but I don't think we'll be able to finish it. Because we're like 1/3 in. So I think maybe I'll do like 2 more chapters and then, or 1 chapter depending, and then we'll wrap it up for today, and I'll read the next half next time, and maybe by then I'll just have a better version of it, or maybe I'll have the story recorded. We'll see. For Arthur, no rest for the flute, no rest for the flute. He rests the entire day while I'm doing stuff on the PC. He rests plenty. But he's a teacher, so he needs like 19 hours of rest, and then the rest of the time he's just silly. Let me kiss you, my little baby poof. Alright. Northern Cross and the Pliocene. And the Pliocene coast. Sorry, it was weird. Let me get. Okay.
I wonder if my mom will ever forgive me, said Campanella suddenly, stammering and flurried, but nonetheless resolute. Giovanni was lost in his thoughts. Sure, that's it. My mom is far down there by the orange-colored sign that looks like a speck of dust. She's thinking about me this instant. I'd go to the ends of the earth to make my mom happy, said Campanella, doing his best to hold back the tears. But I just can't figure out what would make her happiest. At least, there's nothing at all wrong with your mom, exclaimed Giovanni, surprised himself. Oh, I don't know. It's just that, I mean, a person creates happiness around him, or he does something good. That's why I'm sure my mom will forgive me. Campanella looked like he really made up his mind about something. All at once, the inside of the wagon was flooded with a bright white light. Outside, where the water was flowing without sound or shape, over the bed of the gleaming river, where diamonds dew on the grass were interchangeable. There was an island surrounded by an aura of pale light. Atop the island, on the plateau, stood a cross, silent and eternal, so dazzling and white that it might have been cast from frozen Arctic clouds, crowned with a pure halo of gold. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Came the voices from the front and back. The 2 boys looked around to see passengers in the wagons, the folds of their robes hanging down perfectly straight, some clutching black Bibles to their chests, others with crystal rosaries around their necks, clasping their hands in prayer, all facing the cross outside. Both boys found themselves rising to their feet. Campanella's cheeks glistened with the color of a ripe apple. Arthur, do you want to leave? Yes, I want to leave. Yes. Flow down like a river of stars, my floof. Flow down like the liquid you are. Door? Yes. With time, the island and the cross gradually moved back down the line. The far bank of the Milky Way glimmered through the mist. The Pampas grass fluttered as if someone were breathing on it. The silver air was momentarily effect with smoke, and the countless gentians vanished in the grass and appeared again like soft will-o-wisps. But it wasn't long before clusters of pampas grass twice eclipsed the space between the river and the train, and Swan Island appeared far back in the distance, like a little picture. The pampas grass rustled and swished once again, and the island disappeared entirely from view. Behind Giovanni stood a tall, Catholic-looking nun whom he had not seen come on the train. She wore a black habit, and her perfectly round green eyes stared downward as she appeared to be listening humbly to a voice of words coming from outside. The passengers quietly returned to their seats, while the 2 boys discussed disgust, and language somehow different from before, a new sensation of loneliness that had overtaken them. We'll be at Swan Station any minute now. Yeah, we'll pull in at 11 o'clock on the bottom. Before long green and orange signals and milky white posts were flashing by the window, the light of a dark, distinct automatic switch, shining like a sulphurous flame, passed them back. The train gradually eased its pace, and a row of electric lights, carefully spaced, appeared on the platform. The space between the lights became larger and larger, and the two boys came to a stop directly in front of the big clock at Swan Station. Two hands of blue-tempered steel pointed precisely to 11 on the crisp, clear autumn face of the clock. All the other passengers alighted together, leaving the wagon deserted. A sign below the clock read, 20-minute stopover! Should we get off here too? Asked Giovanni. Let's go! The two sprang up at once. They out the door and made a mad dash for the ticket gate, but all they found at the gate was a bright purple electric light. There wasn't a soul around, not even a station master or someone who looked like a redcap. The boys came out onto a small square, enclosed by ginkgo trees that looked hand-carved of cards. A wide road led from the square straight off into the bluish light of the Milky Way. There is never rest for the fleet. Right, Melvin? Oh, they're both like occupying my chair now. The legs of my chair. No, I'm not grabbing you. You may relax. You may relax and lay down. Oh, good. The people from the train had gone somewhere and vanished. Giovanni and Campanella started up the wide road, shoulder to shoulder, casting shadows in all directions, like two pillars in a room with windows on all sides, or like the spokes of two wheels. Before they knew it, they had reached the beautiful riverbed that they had seen from the train. Campanella put a handful of sand into his palm and graded it with his fingers. He spoke as if in a dream. This sand is all made up of crystals. There's a tiny fire burning inside each and every grain. That's right, exclaimed Giovanni, fairly sure that he had learned it somewhere. All of the pebbles on the bed were transparent, no doubt made of quartz or topaz. Some of them flawed and flowed in on themselves, others of corundum, giving off a pale misty light from their facets. Giovanni ran straight for the water's edge and dipped his hand into the liquid. The mysterious water of the Milky Way was even clearer than hydrogen. What's all the hydrogen comparisons? What's with all the hydrogen comparisons? And the boys were convinced that it was flowing, because with their because when their wrists were submerged in it, they appeared to be floating, as if in mercury, and the phosphorescent phase frost and sparkled as they splashed against their skin. By the way, mercury is poisonous, please don't. But I feel like this is common knowledge by now, but it was also like common knowledge back in the past, because I am so old, my family used mercury thermometers, as like, not thermometers, like for measuring fever. I guess because stars are made of hydrogen. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Fair point, Lurker, fair point. But yeah, as I was about to say, yeah, we used, like for you know, when you measure the body temperature when you have a fever, we had mercury thermometers back in the day. And I remember as a child, my mom warned me not to break them, or like if one breaks, to immediately get her, and like to stay away from it. Upstream, below a cliff that was blackened in pampas grass, blanketed in pampas grass. Thankfully, they are all digital now for the general public. Yeah. Yep, mercury thermometers were still sold even in the early 2000s in my country. I think they were like changing around that era, which is like good. Because like, even though you're technically not gonna break your thermometer most of the time, it's still a potential danger source that can be eliminated. Which reminds me, I don't fucking know where my digital thermometer is. It's like one of those things that I keep on losing, and I have no fucking idea how I can lose thermometers within my own apartment.
Can somebody explain how that works? Try telling that to my grandmother, though. Why? Which part of that is bad? Arthur, I just dropped a piece of your own floof down on the floor. Why are you sniffing it? It's just your own floof. Why are you blaming? She's technologically inept. Yeah, I feel like I heard my mom recently complain about like everything needing to be done digitally, and what if somebody doesn't even have a proper PC? Like, I think like trying to fill out some of the forms online on the phone can indeed be like difficult for like official business, you know, administrative stuff, like when you have to like for you know, things like when you have to deal with governmental offices, stuff like that. For example, I'm also like in this state. I don't have a printer at the moment because my last printer died to cat food. Merlin is sitting in a basket and he's staring at Arthur very intently. Very intense gaze. He moved an ear. Merlin, move your ear again. It's not even looking at me. Not looking at me because I'm looking at Thor. But yeah. I don't think like... Well, I think grandmothers can be forgiven, honestly. Because... What do you want to do about that? I mean, there's a reason why there exist courses that help elderly people deal with technology, with modern technology, or younger people just outright explain how to use smartphones to the elderly. And like, isn't that fine? It's gonna happen to all of us at some point. And I think we just should show sympathy. For example, one of the official letters that I just got said like, oh, for platform users, you can just upload it online. And then they're like, did not provide me with the link to the fucking platform. It's like, okay, cool, at least they provided me with paper, so I can just send it to them by paper, which is fine. But yeah, I think we should just show compassion in this case, because like, what do you want to do? As I said, I think it's just gonna happen to everyone. It's the same as like people saying like, oh well, this generation is the new generation is so terrible. Yes, Socrates said the exactly same thing, girl. Yes, every new generation is more terrible. We're all absolutely fucking horrible. Next. Right. It was like from this one YouTuber that I saw who was like complaining about the modern literature, and I was like, she sounds so much like Socrates for that complaint, but like, girl, 2020s, yeah. Oh my god, there was this person that complained about fanfiction and how it's hurting the modern literature, and especially things like Mary's use and self-inserts, and then also like no, the Divine Comedy is not a self-insert fanfic. Girly Pop, no, I'm sorry, no. Just because a lot of Catholics embraced it as the correct portrayal of afterlife doesn't mean it isn't fanfiction. It's existed a little bit longer. It's just like the stuff that remained for us centuries later was really good fanfiction. It's the same thing with music. Like people saying music back in the day was better. No, it's just the stuff that remained that people remember is the really good stuff. Like it's like a little bit rose-colored glasses, I guess. But same with books. Like, I can 100% guarantee to you that in the 90s there was a lot of trash shit published. It's just nobody remembers it because it just didn't survive. And the same thing with movies and all kinds of pieces of art, I think. And yeah, the same thing is gonna be with streamers one day. you know, sometimes it just makes me feel like there's so many things happening. And on one hand, in the grand scheme of things, they're insignificant. But there's like stories of people and all kinds of things happening that just don't get recorded at all, and it gets lost to time, and sometimes it just feels like a waste. You know, it's like also thinking about like back in the day how there's like very little things recorded about the life of common people compared to nobility. Be it whatever culture, obviously, the people in power are gonna have records. And the day-to-day, the worries they had, the things that made their lives, the things that they did for fun, the things that brought them joy. When you think about it, it all got lost in the big river of time. And us onlookers in the modern day just have no idea. And thinking about that really kind of makes me sentimental. The same thing was interesting for me. It's like, yeah, Lurker, now YouTubers in the 1060s were the real deal. Nowadays it's also bleak, I know, right? It's like, we're all not very funny. The same thing I thought a lot of times, like for example, about idols, about AKB48, for example. Like, a lot of things that happened between the lines that people didn't know, even just within the span of the 10 years that I was following the group, a lot of it was just kind of set under the rack, but that just wasn't recorded unless you were there and you paid attention to it. You just wouldn't know it. Tiny little things that like people then said, and you didn't understand why, or why this was culturally a thing. And on one end, I don't mind just being, I'm just a tiny pebble, sand grain in the, not even that, I'm like a tiny quark inside a molecule, inside of a sand grain in the vast desert that is time and space. But at the same time, there is a certain painful sentimentality to it. You know what I'm meaning? Like, hi G. Yeah, it's a mix of survival bias and the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia, yeah. No, I just think it's not even that. There's so many tiny things that happen that are like special in their own ways, but we just won't learn about them. Or like as an onlooker, if you weren't there, you just wouldn't know about it. Or like sometimes people like pass it on, but yeah. It's very special, this moment that we live in. In a way, it's like every day and day to day, but every part of it is kind of special because this story, this lives that we live in, these stories that we... Sorry, I'm kind of getting emotional right now. They're gonna be gone. We're gonna be gone. It just... This tiny bit of time that we have on this earth, and... I don't... I don't know why I'm crying. I just feel like... It's incredibly precious. Our lives, my life, your life, everyone's lives, and all the little things that may seem inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of history. But it's still so infinitely precious. But maybe to you it might seem not special, but maybe when someone hears about it, oh, so it was like this and this, oh, and maybe this person was just like me. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. Well, this wasn't planned. That reminds me of something of deGrasse Tyson said, oh? Please post. Oh, I'm sorry guys. Oh, fuck. let's finish this chapter. It's not as much of holding onto things as much as valuing of them while we have them, because our memories will pass too within our heads. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna read. Right. Upstream, high on our ass. Upstream, below a cliff that was blanketed in pampas grass, we caught sight of a stretch of white rock as flat as a sports field. Jutting out of the line of the river, a number of people nearby seemed to be excavating or burning something as they stood up and stooped down, with some sort of tool glinting from time to time in their hands. "Let's go take a look," said the two boys nearly in unison as they ran for the cliff. Shiny smooth ceramic nameplate stood at the entrance to the area of the white rock, the Pliocene coast. Slim iron handrails had been planted in spots on the opposite bank, with lovely wooden benches sitting in the sand. "Hey, I found something weird," said Campanella, puzzled, stopping to pick up what looked like a long, narrow black walnut with a pointy end. "It's a walnut! Look, they're all over the place. Probably carried along by the river. They're in the rock too." "They're big for walnuts. This one's twice as big as normal, and this one's in perfect shape. Let's go over there. The people are right now. Let's go over where the people are right now. I bet they're digging out something or other." The two boys went ahead, carrying their jaggedy black walnuts. To the left, the ripples glowed softly against the water's edge, like graceful lightning. While to the right, stalks of pampas grass, as if fashioned of silver or mother of pearl, covered the cliff face, swaying and rolling. Man, I wouldn't even know how to animate this. This is some Hoseki no Kuni type shit. We should get whatever studio worked on Hoseki no Kuni, Land of the Lasters, to animate this shit. Like this levels of that. Once close enough to get a good look, they saw a tall scholarly man in boots and terribly thick glasses, writing busily in a notebook. He was quite beside himself, giving instructions to 3 assistants who were swinging pickaxes or shoveling with scoops. "Don't break up the protuberance. Use a scoop, a scoop. Watch out, dig around it first. No, not that way. No, be gentle with it, will ya?" A massive white-boned beast protruded from the soft white rock. A good half of it had already been excavated. It was on its side, broken into fragments. The rock itself had been carefully carved out into some 10 numbered squares, which bore 2 cloven hoofprints. "You fellows here to inspect?" asked the scholarly man, twinkling his glasses at Giovanni and Campanella. Oh no, the anime glasses twinkle. "You saw all those walnuts, didn't you? They'd be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200,000 years old, I'd say. Not very old when you come down to it. This place here was a coastline some 1,200,000 years back, during the later Tertiary period. Plenty of shells under here too. Saltwater ebbed and flowed here, where the river is now. Now, take this beast here. We geologists call it a boss." Fucking god. Yeah, sure, a boss. Are we gonna fight it? No. Don't at me. "Hey, you. Put down that pig. Can't you be more careful and use a chisel? This boss was the ancestor of today's cow. This place, I'd say, would have been literally crawling with them." Why is it a boss? Why do I hear boss music? No. "Are you going to display him in a museum?" "No, we need him as evidence. You see, we know this place is a magnificent thick stratum, and we've got all the proof we need that it was formed 1,200,000 years ago. But some others don't see it in that light, claiming it might be just wind, water, empty sky. Follow? However, hey you, don't use your shovel on that. There's bound to be a set of brave spirit under there." Watch him show up in the last chapter of the final boss. No, I don't think so. I read the plot summary on Wikipedia, and this book is fucking painful as fuck. My kokoro is gonna go fucking brokoro. The professor scurried over to the dig. It's time, said Campanella, checking his wristwatch with a map. Let's go. Well, I'm afraid that we must take our leave, said Giovanni, bowing formally to the professor. Must you? Well, goodbye. And having said this, he started running helter-skelter about, supervising things right and left. As for the boys, they ran for their lives back over to the White Rock, as to not miss the train. They found themselves running just like the wind, without skipping a single breath or getting hot sore knees. If we can run like this, we can run anywhere in the whole wide world. That's what Giovanni thought as they passed the riverbed. The light on the ticket gate grew naturally larger and larger, and in a flash, they were back in their old seats, looking out the window, at the very place they had been not a moment ago. And that's the end of this chapter. Alright, I guess we'll be looking for Reido victims today then. Reido. Redirect. Who is streaming right now? Pam is streaming. Or back to Pam. Tonya's 3D life isn't starting yet. When does it start? Should I keep waiting until it starts and we wait into Tonya? Do I follow Tonya on Twitch? Wait. Is Tonya on Twitch? Tonya should be also on Twitch. It's like a live concert today. Yeah, follow. When is it scheduled? Wait. I'm probably not gonna watch it right now. I usually watch them off when they're not live. Yeah, it starts. Oh, it's almost an hour. Like 50 minutes. Do you guys want to keep me reading and then we wait into Tonya's concert? 4th anniversary live concert. It's kind of crazy how there's already people waiting. Yeah, I watched her other concerts while doing sports in the gym because I wanted to listen to some indie Vtuber concerts. And that was really great. Yes, Arthur, I'm gonna throw you the mouse. Yes. So I'm gonna throw you your mouse. I know you want to throw the mouse. Go. And you tripped. Yeah. Would you guys like to go to the concert then? And she has like a new 3D model as well. Sounds really cool. You know what? Yeah, let's actually keep on reading, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that, and then we, you know. Meanwhile, I'll just already set up the read to her concert, the redirect on YouTube. We're not gonna do, you know, and the message we'll just wish Tonya a happy. Oh wait, is she gonna live stream that on Twitch as well? I don't even know. I don't even know, man. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, let's keep on reading then. All right, where were we? Let's go back here. Do I still have tea? Only a little. You know, I'll do a little break. I'm gonna bring myself tea and then we'll read one more chapter. Let's do that. See you guys like in 5 to 10 minutes.
snön i Merus Meruni alla sestra Lajedes du Lajes dela fu Eskani stela matu honzuku Laikones ma Laikones te isfamo Sedan kaeru inu e hime ya anta naku hatu honke lunabi eskarabu so estela pu miyatu oshihei hantenika amatu kontahe sinanika sira Saliente Poznan i Merus Meruni alla sestra Lajedes du Lajes dela fu Eskani stela matu honzuku Laikones ma Laikones te isfamo
with fresh tea and entertained cats. Yes, Tor? No, it's Lynn.
Tigan, yes, Tigan.
Yes? What are you looking at me like that?
Oh, he's not looking.
Alright. Next chapter. The Birdcatcher. Mind if I sit down here? Giovanni and Campanella heard a kindly, gravely adult voice behind them. The voice had come from a man with a stoop and a red beard, dressed in a shaggy brown overcoat and carrying his things in a huge bundle that was wrapped in white cloth and slung in 2 equal halves over his shoulders. Fine with us, said Giovanni in reply, shrugging. The man smiled faintly through his beard and lifted his bundle carefully onto the baggage rack above. Giovanni was feeling immensely sad and lonely as he stared in silence at the clock in front of him. Far up ahead, what sounded like a glass flute rang out and the train moved smoothly forward. Campanella was examining the ceiling. A black beetle had come to rest on one of the lights, casting a monster shadow. The man with the red beard was staring intently at the 2 boys, as if something in them were taking him back to somewhere, or sometime else. The train gradually began to pick up speed, and the pampas grass and river alternated in lighting up the air outside.
Overnight lurk! Hi, Kinko Kinpatsu! Hi! Have a good lurk! I'll be streaming until 10 p.m. because I will be raiding, at least on YouTube, definitely, someone who has like a 4th anniversary 3D concert. I won't be doing a concert for my anniversary. I should totally do a concert for my 5th anniversary. Oh my fucking god, guys. Bonk me to do a concert for my 5th anniversary, but we're not doing, we're just doing regular shit. Very regular shit. Maybe I should try to get to do a karaoke while I have time. Maybe I should finally get the karaoke done, I promised you guys. That's gonna be like probably my plan for the 24th of February in the evening. Maybe I'll just do a karaoke, and on Saturday there'll be like a special stream. And I'm honestly open for suggestions for Saturday. I want to do a collab on Saturday. Maybe we can, like, if you guys are interested, we could do Jackbox. Jackbox would also allow people on YouTube to join. That would be easy because it's not like marbles on stream. So, or we could do other stuff. I mean, words on stream would be limited to Twitch, unfortunately, so that would be boring for YouTube watchers. But if you guys have any suggestions, please post them on Discord. I'm very open. I want to hear what you guys want to do. How you guys want to do the special stream, because I'll probably stream longer on 28th. I probably start earlier and go for longer. So, like, you go on my Discordo. Discordo. Yeah. Maybe, I think maybe with a QR code one can join for words. Oh, we should try it some stream. This should work too on YouTube, right? I have a Thank you, Nightbot. I thought you fell asleep. It remembered it exists.
Alright.
Wow, my nose is all clogged.
Alright, let's continue. May I inquire as to where you boys would be heading? Asked the man timidly. Farther than anybody, answered Giovanni sheepishly.
That's really something.
That's precisely where this train is going. So, where are you going? Asked Campanella suddenly, in a quarreling tone that made Giovanni smile. Then the man across the aisle, sporting a pointy cap and dangling a large key from his waist, stole a look at them and smiled too, making Campanella blush and smile himself. But the man with the red beard didn't look angry in the least. His cheeks twitched as he said, I'm getting off a bit down the track. Bird catching's my line. What birds do you catch? Why, cranes and wild geese. And herons and swans too. Are there lots of cranes here? Oh, these? I don't know about wild geese, but cranes are like very auspicious animals.
There's a reason why crane wings, like there's a crane dance festival somewhere in Japan. I saw some pictures, it looks really cool. And then remember when I was playing on Myoji, like the default outfit for Seimei has crane wings on his long ass sleeves, and I'm still not over his sleeves. Oh my fucking god. People can think about, oh, this character is hot, but I'm like, fuck no, his sleeves, man! Still not over them, months later. Right. Are there a lot of cranes there? Are there a lot of cranes here? Masses. They were just yelping back there, didn't you hear them? No. If you listen, you can still hear them now. Prick up your ears and listen. Giovanni and Campanella raised their eyes and listened carefully. Amid the soft echo of the checking of the train and the swishing of the pampas grass, they heard the bubbly frothing and gurgling of the water. How do you catch a crane? Do you mean cranes or herons? Herons, said Giovanni, not really caring which. Easy as pie. Herons are made of congealed sand from the Milky Way's bed, and they keep corning back to the river in a constant stream. If you wait on the bank, all of them come soaring down with their feet out like this, and I pluck them off like sifting dogs, and just before they reach the ground. Then they curl up and pass on serenely to, well, greener pastures. Bro! That's dark. Everybody knows what happens next. You press them. Press them? You mean like flowers or specimens? They're not specimens, no. I mean, everybody eats them. You boys know that much, don't you? Sounds funny to me, said Campanella, cocking his head. It ain't funny and it ain't dubious in the least. Watch. Oh, that sounds sussy when you have to call it ain't dubious when nobody accused you of that, bro. Watch. The man stood up and brought his bundle down from the rack, untying it with a nimble twirl of his fingers. Feast your eyes, a fresh batch. They really are herons, blurted out the boys. There were some 10 of them, somewhat ironed out. Their black legs crumpled in under them, lying in a row side by side as if carved in relief, their pure white bodies radiating the very light of the Northern Cross that they had passed. They've all got their eyes closed. They all got their eyes closed, said Campanella, gently touching a bird's white eyelid that was the shape of a crescent moon. They even had their white crests sticking out like spears. See what I mean? Said Birdcatcher, wrapping up his sketch again, folding the cloth and securing it with twine. Who on earth around here would eat a heron? This is what Giovanni thought as he asked, do herons taste good? Good as goose. I've got orders flying in faster than I can fill them. But the wild geese, I should say, are in greater demand. Geese have much more breeding and, what's more, they cause no trouble in the handling. Here, the birdcatcher untied the other bundle. Inside it was a row of yellow, upright, and speckled geese, with their beaks lined up neatly and their bodies slightly flattened out. Just like the herons. What the fuck is going on here? Move? Say that again. Merlin? Oh, now he doesn't want to speak. Get so quiet. Merlin, say something. No, he doesn't want to talk. Got shy from the mic. And then he said again. I think he wants cuddles, but later.
These geese may be gobbled any time. How about it? Dig in. The birdcatcher gently pulled the yellow leg of a goose. It came off in a nice clean piece, as if it were made of chocolate. What the bloody fuck is going on here? Suddenly British. I'm not British.
How about it? Have a piece on me, he said, breaking the leg in two and giving them half each. Giovanni took a little bite and thought to himself,
Hold on, this is cake. It even tastes better than chocolate. This man is pulling our leg when he says that these geese can fly. He's just a cake salesman, out in the field somewhere. I do feel sorry for him, taking his cake and eating it too.
Well, you can't have your cake and eat it, but you can take it and eat it. I'm sorry.
But even so, he didn't stop munching away on it.
Have a bite more, said the birdcatcher, reaching again for his bundle.
Thank you just the same, declined Giovanni, who really did want to have another piece. So the birdcatcher offered it to the man with a large key in the seat across the aisle from him.
Much obliged, but I shouldn't really be dipping into your stock, said the man, tipping his cap. Don't mention it, said the birdcatcher, adding, Well, how are things going in the world of migratory birds? Great! We're running at full capacity. Just day before yesterday, during the second shift, calls kept coming. This is the weirdest type of conversion ever, because corners have been transformed into commerce, but kept coming is just translated as corning. What kind of PDF did this come? Calls kept coming and asking why the light in the lighthouse was on the blinking at regular intervals, you know? So I said to them, heaven only knows, it's not my doing, but it's the birds migrating in big packed flocks passing in front of the light. So what can you do? Ain't no good, come complain to me, I tell them. Take your complaint, I says, to the big fella with a long narrow beak and the spiny legs, the one wearing the cape that flutters in the wind. I give it to them. I did, ha!
The pampas grass was gone now, leaving the field outside shining with a new radiance.
What makes the heron so hard to handle? Campanella had been meaning to ask this from before. Look, said the birdcatcher, turning back to the boys. You see, if you want to eat a heron, you've got to first hang him up for a good 10 days in the light liquid of the Milky Way. Or you can bury them in the sand for a few days. It evaporates the mercury, and then you can eat them. This is some interesting stuff. This is no bird. It's really cake, isn't it? Both Giovanni and Campanella had been thinking this, but it was Campanella who had taken the plunge. That's right. This is where you get off, said the birdcatcher, looking frightfully rushed. He then stood up, grabbed his big cloth bag, and was soon nowhere to be seen. The boys looked at each other, their eyes saying, Where did he go? But the lighthouse keeper was all grin, leaning in front of the boys to peer out their window. Out there, they all saw the very same birdcatcher who had been with them a moment before. He was standing on a riverbank, surrounded by chickweed that was giving off a lovely yellow and eggshell white phosphorescence. He was staring up at the sky with a determined look, his two arms stretched out like wings. There he is! It's so weird! I bet he's got his eye on the birds right now. If only they would fly down before the train goes by. No sooner had those words left Giovanni's mouth, that did a veritable snowfall of herons, squawking and calling, come fluttering down from the barren, dark violet sky. At that, the birdcatcher, chuckling with glee, when things were really coming his way now, spread out his legs on a 60-degree angle, taking in the birds by their black legs, hand over fist, pinning them down in his cloth bag. Once inside, the birds flickered blue, on and off like fireflies, until in the end, they turned a hazy white color and shut their eyes. I am infinitely confused by this arc. Most of the birds, however, were not caught. They came to a safe landing on top of the sand by the river, and their feet touched the sand, their bodies curled in, flattening like melted snow, spreading along the surface like molten copper fresh from a blast furnace, their forms clinging momentarily to the sand
turning light and dark, until finally blending in without a trace. The birdcatcher, that was some 20 birds on his back, suddenly lifted both arms skyward like a soldier who had been hit by a bullet and was on his last legs, when, in a flash, there was no sign of him outside, and Giovanni heard a familiar voice coming from the seat next to him.
Ah, I feel like a new man. Yep, nothing like a hard day's work. Best we turn the crust.
Oh, Giovanni dear, you should be noticing that this is all pretty weird.
But I'm still not quite getting this.
Okay. It was the birdcatcher himself, making rows of the herons which he had just caught, stacking them in a neat pile. How did he get back here in such a flash? Asked Giovanni, feeling both that he had expected the man to do it, and yet there was something quite miraculous as well.
How? Because I wanted to, that's how.
Now, where on earth was it you two boys said you hailed from? Giovanni was about to answer when he realized that he couldn't for the life of him recall where in the world he came from. Campanella too had turned bright red trying to remember.
Well, from a long, long way off anyway, said the birdcatcher, readily nodding as if he knew all about it. Damn, oh my god. Alright, the next chapter is Giovanni's ticket, and I think this is the one. This is the chapter. Oh, we're actually like about halfway in. A little bit over, like 55%.
Okay, let's do this.
Question mark?
Giovanni's ticket. We're about to leave Swan Zone. See for yourself. There's the renowned Lyria Observatory. Outside the window, 4 big black buildings stood in the very middle of the Milky Way, which itself was a galaxy of fireworks. 2 enormous spheres of translucent blue sapphire and dazzling yellow topaz, invisibly looped together, were revolving around each other on the flat roof of one of the buildings. When the yellow one made its way round back, the smaller blue one circled forward until their edges overlapped, forming a single convex lens of rare green. Then, gradually, the center would bulge, and the blue sapphire would appear exactly in front, and the green sphere with a yellow topaz ring about it. Again, slowly, the sapphire would move across to the other edge, reversing the shape of the lens before, and the two would part company as the topaz came forward. The black observatories lay there silently, as if at rest, encircled in the formless, soundless liquid of the Milky Way.
That's an instrument for measuring the speed of the water as it flows, you see? The water.
It was all the birdcatcher could see before, without warning, a tall conductor in a red key came up to their seats and spoke.
Please have your tickets ready.
The birdcatcher pulled a small slip of paper from his inside pocket without saying a word. The conductor glanced at it, immediately turned to Giovanni and Campanella, wagging his finger and pointing to them as if to say, "And where are your tickets?" "Oh, gee," said Giovanni, fidgeting at a loss for what to do. But Campanella produced a small grey ticket from out of nowhere, as if by second nature. Giovanni, now in a real flurry, reached deep into his coat pocket to see if there was a ticket there. Finding a big folded piece of paper, he quickly brought his hand, surprised himself that there was something in it, and held up a green piece of paper, folded in quarters. About the size of a postcard, he thought.
Yes, time to check the tickets.
I don't know what this paper is, but the conductor has his hand out, so why not give it to him? The conductor took the piece of paper from him, stood at attention, and carefully unfolded it. He fiddled with the buttons on his jacket as he read it, while the lighthouse keeper did his best to steal a peek at it from below. Giovanni, quite excited, was sure that the paper was some kind of certificate.
"Have you carried this from the 3rd spatial region?" asked the conductor.
"Search me," said Giovanni, chuckling, looking up and now feeling considerably relieved and safe.
"Very well. We'll be arriving at the Southern Cross in the neighborhood of the next 3rd hour,"
said the conductor, returning Giovanni's ticket and going down the aisle. Campanella was trying to find out what was written on Giovanni's ticket, so he quickly took a peek at it. Giovanni couldn't wait to see either, but all they could make out on it were designs of black arabesques, with 10 or so funny-looking printed letters among them. He felt that if he continued to stare at the piece of paper, they would certainly be swallowed up into it.
This is some eldritch stuff.
Good heavens, said the birdcatcher, taking a glimpse from the side. That ticket is really tops. It will take you higher than the sky, even higher. With this ticket, you've got the safe conduct to anywhere your heart desires to go. With this ticket, you can go wherever you wish on the imperfect four-dimensional Milky Way dream train. You boys are really something. Oh, I don't know, said Giovanni, blushing, holding up his ticket and putting it back in his pocket. He felt rather awkward as he stared out the window with Campanella, vaguely aware that the birdcatcher was throwing them glances from time to time as if to say, You boys are really tops. Psycho kayo. We'll be pulling up into Eagle Station any moment, said Campanella, comparing his map with the three little off-white triangular signs on the opposite bank. Giovanni, without knowing why, felt sorry for the birdcatcher, and when he thought about him being so overjoyed at becoming a new man, when he caught his hands, wrapping them up in his white cloth bundle, or just stealing glances at people's tickets and praising them to the high heavens, he wanted to give him everything he owed, his food and everything, but he really didn't know him very well at all. If it would make the birdcatcher happy, he would even stand for 100 years at a time in the shining field of the Milky Way and catch his birds for him. Giovanni couldn't remain silent any longer. What is it you wish for more than anything else? Is what he wanted to ask him. That would be altogether too abrupt. As he considered what else he might ask and turned towards the birdcatcher, the birdcatcher wasn't there at all, and his huge white bundle was gone from the overhead track as well. Giovanni immediately looked outside, sure that he would be out there, his legs planted solidly, searching the skies for a heron to catch. With his whirled back and tapered hat were nowhere to be seen. All that was there was a waving white sea of pampas grass and a beautiful blanket of sun. Where'd he go off to? Asked Campanella in a daze. That's a good question. I wonder where on earth we'll ever meet up with him again. I just wanted to say a few more words to him. Oh, me too. I really feel awful, because at first I thought he was going to get in our way. Giovanni never felt odd and quite that way, and certainly had never been able to express it. Hold on, I smell apples, said Campanella, looking around in amazement. Could it be because I was thinking about apples? I smell apples too, and wild roses. Giovanni looked all around, but the smell seemed to be coming from outside the window. This puzzled him all the more, because it was autumn, and not at all the season for wild roses, but it's the season for apples. Before they knew it, a boy about 6 years old, with glossy hair, wearing an unbuttoned red blazer, was standing nearby. He had a terrible expression of fear on his face, shivering and quaking in bare feet. A young man in a properly fitted black suit, as tall and straight as a Zolkova tree, blasted for an age by the wind, stood beside the little boy, holding him firmly by the hand. Oh God, where are we? It's so lovely here, said Kaoru, a little girl of about 12 with pretty brown eyes, wearing a black overcoat and clinging to the young man's arm as she stared outside the wonder. Okay, let's go. Oh God, where are we? It's so lovely here, said Kaoru, a little girl. Yes, let's better ways. Why? It's Lancashire. No, it's the state of Connecticut. No, we've come to the sky. We're on our way to heaven, said the young man in black, radiating good cheer to the girl. See for yourself. This is the sign up for heaven. There's nothing to be afraid of now. We're being summoned by God. In case anyone has not gotten it, this is a train to the motherfucking afterlife. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cursing this much, because the book is very wholesome. But yeah, roll credits. But then, for some reason, deep furrows appeared on his brow, and he looked weary. He tried to force a smile as he sat the little boy down next to Giovanni and gently instructed the girl to sit beside Campanella. She sat down obediently, folding her hands together on her lap. Oh, I don't think my ticket can take me that far. Yeah, stay tuned, but yeah. This is, yeah. The little boy had an odd expression on his face. I'm going to see my sister, Kikuyo, he told the young man, who had just seated himself opposite the lighthouse keeper. The young man, unable to say a word, stared with the saddest eyes at the little boy's wavy, silky red hair. Suddenly, the little girl put her hands on her face and sobbed. Your father and sister? You still have lots of work to do, said the young man. But they'll be along someday soon. More than that, just think of how long your mother has been waiting for you. She's waiting and worrying and imagining the songs that her sweet little boy Tadashi would be singing. She would be picturing you holding hands with the other children, skipping round and round the garden bushes when the snow falls in the morning. So let's go right now and see Mommy. Okay, but I still would rather have not got on that ship in the first place. I know. But look, see. That fantastic river, see? The milky white blaze in the sky that you used to see from your window all summer long and sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's right there. See how lovely it is, shining so brightly. The little girl had been crying, wiped her tears with a handkerchief, and looked outside. We have nothing to be sad about anymore, explained the young man calmly to them. We're traveling to this fine place, and soon we'll be in God's house, where it will be as bright can be. The smells are sweet, and the people are truly grand. All of the people who went in the lifeboats in our place will surely be safe and will be back to their own mothers and fathers. I'm so worried about them, or to their own homes and children. Now, we'll be there soon, so cheer up and sing out with everything you've got.
Wait, was this the Titanic? This is the only thing I can think of. Can give me just a second. I think this reference is to Titanic. Could be just me. Let me look it up. Yes, it is! It is! Yeah, I remembered it correctly.
The young man consoled them, stroking the little boy's wet black hair. Gradually, his own expression brightened too. Where did you people come from? Asked the lighthouse housekeeper, finally beginning to understand a little. What brought you here? The young man gave a faraway smile. Well, the ship hit an iceberg and sank, he said. Their father was called home unexpectedly 2 months ago, so we waited and set off later. I was a university student, hired as their private tutor. But then, exactly 3 days out, today, or maybe yesterday, the ship hit an iceberg. Listed just like that, and then began to sink. There was some hazy moonlight that night, but the fog was extremely thick. Half of the lifeboats on the port side had gone under, and there weren't enough left to carry everyone. I realized that in the moment, the whole ship would be lost. So I cried out with all my might for somebody to help save these children. The people nearby made a path for them and started to pray. But there were still many little children and their parents standing between us and the lifeboats, and I didn't have the heart to push them aside. I still felt, though, that it was my duty to save these little ones. So I tried my elbow as my way past the children in front. And it dawned on me that better than saving them in that way, I should bring them just as they are now before God. The next moment, though, I saw that I alone would be sinning before God if I did not try to save them. But there was no way for me to do it. It tore me up inside to see mothers going crazy, throwing kisses to their children in the lifeboats, and fathers standing stiffly on the deck holding back their tears. I knew that the ship was going down fast, so resigned to fate, I embraced these 2 little ones, determined to stay afloat for as long as possible. Someone threw a lifebuoy at us, but it slipped and flew out of reach. I frantically raked some greeting from the deck, and we clung onto it. Suddenly, as if from nowhere, someone was singing a hymn, and soon everyone joined in many different languages. Then we heard a loud boom, and we were plunged into the water. I held on tightly to these 2, but I must have been caught in a whirlpool, because everything vanished, and the next thing we knew, we found ourselves here. Their mother passed away 2 years ago. Oh yes, the lifeboats might have been safely away from the ship when it sank. I mean, what else would they expect with all those seasoned sailors rowing them? Faint prayers could be heard, and Giovanni and Campanella, their eyes smarting, recalled things which they had forgotten up till then. Oh, the big ocean must have been the Pacific, and someone is working his life away in a far northern corner of that ocean where the iceberg floats, battling the wind and the frozen tide, and the violent cold in a little boat. I really feel sorry for that man, pretty sorry. What can I do to make him happy? That is what Giovanni thought, he said valiantly. Who knows what happiness is, said the lightkeeper comforting him. So long as you're on the proper road, no matter how trying a thing may be, you'll be getting closer, one step at a time. Fuck, I'm crying.
Oh, I hope this will be tough. This will be a tough thing to record as an audiobook. Oh my fucking god. Oh.
So as long as you're on the proper road, no matter how trying a thing may be, you'll be getting closer, one step at a time, up and down the mountain to real happiness. Yeah, that's true, said the young man in a reverential tone. To attain the truest happiness, you must first know all kinds of sorrow, for such is God's will. Little brother and sister, reddish young color, already sunk deep down in their seats, fast asleep. They now had soft white shoes on their feet, where there had been nothing before. The little train jogged and clanked, making its way along the phosphorescent bank of the river, with fields appearing through the windows on the other side, as if straight out of a magic lantern. Hundreds and thousands of triangular signs of every size stretched to the very edge of the fields, the larger ones topped with red-dotted severe flags, so thick and dense that on the horizon they appeared like pale mist. And from there, and from further afield than anyone could see, signal fires and flares of all kinds of shot up, one after the other, into the dark violet sky. The breeze, clear and lovely, was filled with a scent of roses. Want one? I bet you never had apples like these before. Lighthouse keeper across the aisle was carefully holding a large, beautiful golden and red apples in his hand. Wow, where did these come from? Said the young man, genuinely impressed and taken back. They're incredible. I didn't know they had apples like this around here, he totally said, fixing his squinted eyes on the bunch of apples in the man's lap. Well, anyway, help yourself. Come on, don't be shy. The young man glanced at Giovanni and Campanella, taking an apple for himself. Here, you little tykes there. Come on. Come and get them. Giovanni didn't much fancy being called a little tyke, so he just stepped out in silence, but Campanella thanked the lighthouse keeper. At this, the young man took 2 apples and handed them to the boys. Giovanni rose to his feet and thanked the man too. Lighthouse keeper, who could now manage to carry the rest of the apples by himself, went to the little brother and sister, and gently placed 1 apple in their laps. Thank you very much, said the young man, looking on. Where do they grow apples as lovely as these? Of course, this region is farmland, but generally speaking, things just grow by themselves. Farming shouldn't break anybody's back. All you do here is sow the seed of your choice, and day by day, the plant grows on its own accord. And the rice here isn't like your rice around the Pacific Ocean, because it's got no husks, and besides, the grains are 10 times bigger and they smell absolutely delicious.
Yeah, this one about the seeds is very much about the deeds and the seeds, and you plant, you sow what you plant. Wait, you harvest what you sowed. Wait, how does the saying go?
They don't farm up where you're heading, though. But you can eat the apples and cakes down to the very last morsel, and you'll find yourselves giving off a faint sweet aroma through your own pores, a different aroma for each person.
You reap what you sow. Thank you.
Suddenly, Tadashi blinked his eyes open. Oh, I was just dreaming of my mother, he said. She was standing by that big cupboard or bookshelf or something, and she was holding out her hand and looking at me and smiling so big. I said, Mommy, do you want me to get an apple for you? That's when I just woke up. Gee, this is the same train I was on before.
You've got the apple, said the young man.
This nice man gave us all one. Thank you, sir. Hey, Kara's still asleep. I'll wake her up, okay? Sis, look, we got apples. Wake up and see. Kara smiled and opened her eyes, grabbing them with both hands from the glare. Then she saw the apples. Tadashi was munching away at an apple, as if it were a piece of pie. The peel that he had taken the trouble to peel off took the shape of a corkscrew. As it fell, turned smoky gray, flared, and evaporated before reaching the floor. Giovanni and Campanella stashed the apples in their pockets for safekeeping. Downstream, there was a vast forest growing on the far bank of the river. Its thick and deep green branches loaded down with round ripe fruit glowing red, a bewilderingly tall triangular sign standing in its very center. The breeze from the forest carried an indescribably beautiful sound of bells and xylophone that mingled with everything permeating the air. The young man shuddered, spellbound at the sound. We'll have to... When does the chapter end? Oh no, the chapter goes on for a while. So we'll end it at the apples. Because we need to set up the radar. Actually, no, let's wait. Let's continue reading for a bit because I want to make sure that Tonya is live on Twitch. I'm gonna just look at her channel. Oof, the timer off. Okay, come on. Tonya. I need to know. I need to know if Tonya's gonna stream on Twitch for that. So far, honestly, I don't know because Tonya has not updated her gamer subs banner. Still says idle like gamer subs, but it's chroma shift now. Yeah, let's just stop here and just wait for a minute or so because the 3D, I guess it's only gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, well, this one is really making me emotional, this book. Like, I can so see why it's such a big thing. Why it gets referenced everywhere. I so see it. I also just see that my model is probably really weird right now. Okay. Right, the setup is already done. I'm gonna create the message on YouTube. So, happy 4th anniversary. That's what we're gonna send on YouTube. And it's 10, so I'm waiting for the waiting room to start and gonna update Twitch. And I'm getting the impression. Is she live? Is she? No. When was the last time she actually streamed? Well, that's like 3 days ago, but that's like a regular stream. Okay, wait. Let's see. Is it live? Is it live? And 3D concert? Did that one start? No, not yet. Come on, it's 10 p.m. 10 p.m. 1 minute. Start! Start the stream! Okay, YouTube started. Okay, YouTube started. What about Twitch? Is it gonna be in YouTube? I'm scared it's gonna. Oh, it's only gonna be in YouTube then. Yeah. It doesn't look like. Would you guys on Twitch? Do you guys want me to send you off to somewhere on Twitch, or would you guys like to go to the concert? Otherwise, I would send you guys. Oh, Kraken is live. I haven't rated Kraken forever. You know what? We should raid Artie then, because yesterday I was considering raiding Artie. Yeah, let's do it like that. Anyone who I'll post the link to Tonya's 3D concert on Twitch in case you guys want to go there. Tonya 3D concert here. And for the raid, we'll just raid Artie. Orsa.
doing something extremely different. Call of Duty! Yeah. The dragon, I will read. Alright, everyone? I'm gonna write in her chat, happy 4th anniversary on YouTube. Yeah. And that's how we're gonna leave this off. Right, everyone, make sure to take care. I'll see you around on Monday for Doom. And Atsudarker, Atsuru. Yeah, oh my god, I'm scared of Doom. But we'll be fine. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.